Tender, juicy pulehu steak with a delicious Hawaiian seasoned salt rub grilled over kiawe wood. Feed your stomach and your soul just like some good music and a bottle of wine. So stick around because I've got a special product launch to share with you. My name is Relle and welcome to my outdoor kitchen, where today we'll be making some pulehu steak on the grill. I know we're normally inside, but today we're taking it outside to make some yummy and delicious food. So first we're gonna start with a Hawaiian salt seasoned rub that'll go on the steaks. You'll bring the steak out. You can use ribeye or New York strip steak, and you want to let that sit out to room temperature 20-30 minutes or so. And while that's happening, we can make the mix that'll go on top of it. So it'll start with some Hawaiian salt. Hawaiian salt is a thicker, more coarse grain of salt than your basic table salt. Here in Hawaii, you can find that at the grocery store. If not, maybe on Amazon, you can check it out. You might be able to find it. This mix will have way more than enough, but you can save that for later. So that'll go into the bowl. And then alaea salt. It's a red, earthy salt that they get here as well. And as you can see, this one is also a thick grain, coarse grain one as well. There are other ones that are a little thinner, but that gives it this really earthy flavor. So we'll add that. And then of course we've got some ground ginger. You can find that in the spice aisle. We got some ground onion. Ooh, sorry about that. Some ground garlic. And lastly, some black pepper. So this is a seasoning salt that works on pork, chicken, beef, really whatever you want. And you can mix that up, store it in an airtight container, leave it out at room temp. So we'll mix that up, and that'll be the seasoning that we'll use on the steak. As you can see, you got all those colors and all those different flavors, super yummy. And today we'll be cooking up on the grill, and we'll be using kiawe. Kiawe is an invasive tree to Hawaii, but luckily it works great for grilling. It gives a smoky flavor that's characteristic of many Hawaiian foods. But let me tell you, you've got to be careful for those darn thorns. If you've ever stepped on one and it punctured through your slipper and into your foot, or even straight into your foot, you know how sore that is. Not fun. We like to go down to the beach to gather kiawe and make a day of it. If you don't have kiawe trees nearby, you can totally go to the store and buy yourself some mesquite, as the English speakers would call it. So we already have the grill heated up for that. And what we'll do is we'll season it up and get it going. You'll want to make sure that you blanch your steak and make sure it's extra dry. We'll flip it over and get the other side as well. Actually, you know what? Let's season it before we flip it. So you'll just take that rub that we did earlier and you'll just season it up over the top. Be generous with it. A lot of it will fall off as we flip, so that's fine. Flip that over and just dab it dry and season away. All right, before you get your steak onto the grill, you want to make sure that you spray it with some non-stick cooking spray to prevent it from sticking, or you can use some oil on a paper towel and just rub it on. The flames might blow up if you, not blow up, flare up with the spray, so just keep an eye on it, just like that. You just want to get it so that the steak doesn't stick. Then you'll take this big guy. Normally I get the one without the bone. The one without the bone takes a little bit longer to cook, but they only have the bone-in one today. So we'll do bone-in. So it just takes a little bit longer. You'll just have to keep an eye on it. And now it'll really depend on the doneness that you want. The more well done you want, the longer it takes. If you're more of a rare type of person, then it'll be a lot quicker. So we'll close it up because that'll make it cook a little bit quicker, and we'll come right back when it's done. Now that the steak has charred up on that side, we're ready to flip it, but stick around because I've got a special guest that's got a new product coming out that'll pair perfectly with this dish. Now, depending on the doneness that you want, that'll determine the temperature to pull it off. Make sure you check it. Medium is about 140. You'll pull it about 5 degrees below that because when it sits, the temperature will rise a little bit. So we'll take this off, but stick around because we'll talk stories a little bit. So remember I told you guys that I had a special guest today. She's a Grammy nominee and a multiple Nahoku Hano Hano Award winner. And she's here today to share her special new product that pairs perfectly with the pulehu steak that we made today. I want to introduce to you Amy Hanaiali'i.
Hi, aloha. Nice to meet you.
Welcome.
How are you?
I'm fine.
Thank you for
So
having me.
tell me a little bit about yourself.
Okay, well, so I'm mostly known for singing music, Hawaiian music. I've been very blessed to record 15 albums and launched an album last year, went to the Grammys, Kalawai Nui, was a wonderful experience. And I'm always trying to find like inspiration to do new and creative things. So I do a lot of like entrepreneurial things. I've actually had this wine company, Hanaiali'i Wines, for almost about little over 11 years. I was in Napa and I was doing a concert at Lincoln Performing Arts Center. And after we had kanikapila, of course, till all hours of the morning, my wine partners that are my wine partners now said, hey, would you ever consider doing a wine? And I was like, of course. Let me think about that. Of course. But I said, I have to be in on the whole making of it. Like I cannot just promote something that is not my taste palette.
Absolutely.
They said, oh, we noticed that, in the after party, like you like Merlot, you like candy bacon and like Gouda cheese and like
yum.
all kinds of stuff that I love wine with. So I said, yeah, that's actually my favorite. So we came out with the Merlot first. It's my cacao on the bottle. It's kind of my brand now. So we came out with the Merlot, a really beautiful black bottle. It was very strong, dark, rich berries, chocolate, And then everybody was like, well, hello, are you going to do a white? And I was like, of course I am. So we came out with a white. Well, first of all, the Merlot, we went from 200 to 3,000 cases sold out the door.
That's awesome.
In less than 6 months.
Wow.
So everybody was just grabbing the wine. And that was on premise, off premise. It was in restaurants and in the stores. Then I came out with the Chardonnay, and I'm not really a Chardonnay drinker. Like it kind of hurts my stomach a little bit, certain white wines. So I had to make it really buttery. So that flew off the shelves. Then I came out with a sparkling wine called Tiny Bubbles.
Yes.
And that was really fun to promote because my grandmother is a kumuhula many, many years here in Hawaii and Hollywood doing her Hollywood movies and was very dear friends with Uncle Don Ho.
Nice.
So even though I didn't need to ask permission, I still asked permission anyway if it was from his board of trustees. So we had a really fun time promoting the Tiny Bubbles because everybody had to sing the song Tiny Bubbles when they taste the wine. Taste the bubbles. So that was fun. And then the pandemic hit. I said, okay, we need to take all the wine, it was pretty much sold out already. So I came out with a new California red blend out of Napa. And I said, okay, let's go ahead since the pandemic hit, pull it out of the restaurants and push it into a local. I wanted to support local.
Yep.
So we put it into Minute Stop, which is Maui-based and Hawaii Island-based, really old dear friends of my father. And it just kept flying off the shelves. Thank goodness everybody was drinking through COVID because I didn't have any shows and no concerts.
Yes.
So hallelujah. And so this is the red blend now, but I'm actually coming out in a less than a month. I'm coming out with a new red blend and a new white blend. It's a lower price point. It's a grab and go,
Awesome.
Buy the glass in the restaurant. So it's all going back into the restaurant.
Nice.
Yeah.
And it pairs perfectly with pulehu steak, right? It goes well with
Exactly.
me. Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, mahalo for being here today.
Yeah.
We really appreciate it. If you guys get a chance, check it out. And when do you know when launch is yet?
It's going to be next month. What is this? It's going to be next month.
Okay, next month. On Maui, all
All around Hawaii.
all over.
Yeah.
Okay, if you're in Hawaii, don't forget to stop by the store and pick this up and pair that with your pulehu steak. Take a picture and tag us in it.
Thank you for watching my mommy's video.